I did my presentation on the shark and its bad reputation. My name is Kindness and I attend Colorado Christian University. Why the bad reputation? When you hear about a 10-year-old boy losing a fight against a shark, how does it make you feel? Shark attacks do happen, and when we're entering the waters where sharks dwell, we have to be aware of their presence, such as beaches. Most people have seen movies like Jaws, The Deep Blue Sea, Sharknado, 47 Meters Down, and many others. Movies like these only show the scary or fearsome side of a shark and leaves a bad conception of them. My goal with this presentation is to educate more about the shark and bring understanding about why the shark is important to us and our ecosystem. So the basics are that sharks are classified as chondrichthyes. Their subclass is Elasmobranchi, and their superorder is Selachimorpha. Sharks are not related to sea bass or groupers, but are closely related to skates and rays. Most sharks are carnivorous. They eat fish and other sharks. However, there are sharks that do eat plankton. And if you look at the bottom left hand of the screen, that is a shark that eats plankton. What it has in its body is a filter. It sucks in a large amount of water, and then it filters in all the plankton and other nutrients that it needs through its body. If fish are scarce, the shark will eat what is prominent in an area, including humans. They are merely trying to survive and are instinctual creatures. The importance of sharks in the ecosystem. David Crow writes in his book, Biology: A Guide to the Natural World, in today's world, it's impossible to note the ways in which ecosystems function without also noting the ways in which human activity is damaging them. So the shark in the ocean is an apex predator. They maintain their role in the ecosystem by maintaining the species below them in the food chain, and also they help remove the weak and the sick, as well as keeping them balanced with competitors, helping to ensure species diversity. Right now, what's going on is there's been less sharks in the ecosystem, which means more prey. One animal that the sharks do prey on is a cow-nosed ray, and because they're more abundant in the ocean, their diet is bivalves, which is clams, oysters, and scallops. So because there's more cow-nosed rays and not an increase in their diet, such as clams and oysters and scallops, there has been a decline in clams, oysters, and scallops because there's an increase in the rays and a decrease in the shark. There was a fishery that had been in North Carolina for over a century, and it actually got closed down in 2004 because they did not have the scallops to plenish or to meet the need of the public. So not only does taking a shark out of the ecosystem affect the ocean, but it also affects us as humans. So I did interview 15 people. The age groups are from 5 to 18, 19 to 30, and 31 to 55.
And then you don't even tackle the man. Why did you say you didn't like sharks? Because they can eat me in one bite. You gonna give him a push in the back. You an idiot.
As you heard from Ethan's statement, he's my 8-year-old nephew. He is afraid that sharks can eat him in one bite. So I was surprised to find out that everybody knew that a shark was a fish. I don't know if they were guessing or if it was just knowledge they had. And everyone also had a fear of sharks. The younger crowd were just only afraid of being eaten, whereas the older crowd had an appreciation and respect for the shark. So there is a myth out that sharks don't get cancer. In April of 2000, John Harshberger and Gary Osterner countered this shark myth with a presentation on 40 benign and cancerous tumors known to be found in sharks. Even though there is evidence against shark cartilage reducing the effects of cancers in humans, many people still purchase it because they believe in its healing effects. So I went and actually looked into what is in shark cartilage from the Vitamins and Nutrition's website. It says that shark cartilage is a food supplement made from the powdered cartilage of sharks. It's loaded with calcium and phosphorus and contains amino acid compounds that seemingly inhibit cellular angiogenesis. It's the ability to create new blood vessels. And also it has chondroitin sulfate, which contains anti-inflammatory properties. Let's save the sharks. Shark harvesting has become a major problem. What people are doing is when they go fishing for tuna or other smaller fish, they catch sharks, and instead of releasing them back into the wild, they'll defin them, which is cutting off their fins and selling the fins for meat. Right now, the Chinese particularly have a expensive meal called shark fin soup. It's sold to the elite, and there is even a demand from the middle class. Right now, because of the definning and the harvesting of sharks, there are currently 64 species of sharks on the endangered red list. Scientists estimate that shark populations in the Northwest Atlantic Ocean have declined by 50% since the early 1970s. So we definitely have a crisis at hand. Just a few pictures of the terrible definning that's going on in the shark community, and even a picture of the soup that is so popular. So how are we going to save sharks? Before researching and doing this project and this presentation, I had no information at all, no knowledge of what was going on, not even what really the shark was and what it did. So one thing that is definitely necessary is bringing awareness to the problem. If more people were aware, more people could help to stop the problem. Also, education is number one to change anything. So if we could educate more people on the shark and how their decrease in the ecosystem would be drastic to our lives, is definitely important. And one thing I thought that should definitely be done is enforcing better laws and regulations on the ocean. If we could get more law power out to stop the illegal harvesting and to just make sure that everything is going the way it should with regulating the ocean and the fishing and everything, then can definitely help solve the issue of the decrease in the shark population as well as any other population. So I hope that I could bring some education to you, some knowledge, and just some basic concern that we should have toward our ecosystem. And I hope that you enjoyed this presentation.